Joining me now is Mr. Kwasi Noel, the Dean of Form 6 here at Fatima College, along with being a foreign language teacher and the prolific choir director. Mr. Noel, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, and thank you for your kind words.
Mr. Noel, in the wake of COVID-19, many changes and adjustments had to be made. In your capacity as the Dean of Form 6, where students are preparing for high-stake exams, what was that experience like, and what was involved in that period?
So I think the immediate challenge was the uncertainty of the whole situation. Incidentally, at the time, we were in the middle of mock exams, and so our exams stopped abruptly. So then it was a question of how do these boys prepare for these external exams without the normal wrapping up of the term, of how we would end with our farewell masses, etc. Their parents were also very anxious, and so my interaction with them via the phone, via Zoom, etc., was one of trying to figure out how do we best help these boys to understand this new way of studying for exams, where they would need to have contact with their teachers, where they would need to still do their own studies, wrap up on classes, but via distance learning. The parents were on board, they were very encouraging. The students, I think, once we continue to liaise with them, I know my colleagues would have worked very hard in having their classes with them via Zoom. They were able to come to terms with how to operate, and they found their way. And they have all reported that they felt a certain sense of preparedness for the external exams that are happening as we speak.
In this so-called new normal, how prepared were these students who have been labeled digital natives? How prepared were students in embracing this new reality?
Well, my observation was that they may be digital natives, but especially when it comes to recreation. When it came to academia, just like the teachers, I think they had a lot of learning to do themselves. How do we learn? Via Zoom, where your whiteboard is not a physical whiteboard, but it's coming up on a screen where you're being allowed or disallowed from writing on the whiteboard. So these were things that they had to learn as well, but I think with time they got it, and they will benefit from it in the long run.
Yes, yes. And to make a little shift here, you wear many hats here at the college.
Sometimes.
And in your capacity as the choir director, how did that, was that still, as it were, a thing during this COVID time, or did the choir have to go on an early sabbatical?
Well, I came across an editorial. It was a letter from a UK composer and other composers, John Rutter. And one of the things that struck me is that he said that COVID has silenced choirs, but we can't allow it to continue in that way. That's the gist of what he was saying. So, because, especially in our context here at Fatima, it is not lost on me that the choir is an important space for a lot of our students here at the college. We needed to find a way to continue in some form or fashion. So what we were able to organize were 2 virtual choir videos. Both of them took about a month long to prepare. It involved rehearsals via sections, via Zoom. It involved the students recording parts. We had the great assistance of students like Adam Bartholomew and Nicholas Gooding of Form 5, Dante Gaines and David Isidore of Form 6. Of course, we had the support of our retired teacher, Miss Cumberbatch, our retired accompanist. And it was about getting the music to them via digital means, of course, so there were no means to really meet. And they're learning their parts. I would continue my role as guiding them through that. They're recording their parts various times, both audio and video. And then it all came together after a month of editing, etc. But the bottom line was that it was important for us to keep on singing, not to let the virus stop our voices.
And these videos, these activities, how did the school, what avenues in the life of the school, even in this virtual time, allow for the choir to show their talents?
Well, Fatima, I would say, is a very social school, and we have a lot of gatherings. So during the term, the pandemic term, we had virtual assemblies. So it would be at these assemblies where the choir's videos would be showcased. So the first video was a medley of hymns, As I Knew Before You, and other school hymns that was done to begin our Marian devotions on May 13th. Then the final video was done to close the academic year, a rendition called By Faith. And really, this is a school founded on Catholic principles and principles rooted in believing in Christ. And so, more by and largely, the choir would work to sing those truths that we are guided by Christ. We have our intercessor in the Blessed Virgin Mother, and we are guided by the light of Christ in all that we do.
And before you leave me this morning, you've mentioned, virtual assemblies. You've mentioned that the school is a very social space. To what do you attribute that type of success, even in a virtual reality? What is behind that success?
Well, I think it's rooted in our culture, and it's rooted in the values that we hold dear. Our values of faith, our values of hard work, and of course the motto of our college, by striving you shall conquer, Nintendo Ventures. Keep going, even in the face of adversity. Keep striving. In the face of difficulty, you don't stop. And in the end, we can conquer. Of course, we are strengthened by God. We are strengthened by our faith in God. So in the end, we will conquer because we tried. And it is those values that we maintain. And just as we do it physically when we are here, virtually, it happened as well. And that, I think, is the secret to our success. Life is not perfect. No institution is perfect. But we have ways and means of doing things to the best that we can. And I think at Fatima, we really strive to do so.
Mr. Noel, thank you very much for sharing with me your experiences during this COVID time, as we continue to share our experience here at Fatima College of embracing the new normal in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic.